Good night, everyone. I'm having a late dinner. You know what I noticed about going live? I'm new to this going live. But what I noticed is that nobody wants to talk about the mental issues that we face in our society. Nobody wants to talk about disease that we can probably cure ourselves. No one wants to talk about our health issues. No one wants to talk about the hunger and the homelessness that we deal with in our society. And I don't get that many followers or views when I go live. But I bet you one thing. If I had on a swimsuit or I was on live twerking, I would get a whole lot of people watching my live. I guarantee you. But if I come on my live and I say, I'm a healthcare provider, I'm a patient care technician, and I've been working in the medical field for years, and I want to talk about the health issues that we face, that we can control, that can help keep us safe and keep our immune system strong so that we can fight off these viruses that are coming about in our society. See, I'm not the healthiest person that I can be, but every day I make an effort, a conscious effort to try to eat more healthy, think more healthy, live more healthy. And the experience that I have in the medical field and the knowledge that I've gained from my ancestors, like my mom, who was considered a bush doctor in Jamaica. There's certain things that I do, that I practice in my culture and in learning from being in the medical field and from caring for other people who have illness, that there are some illnesses that we have that we can cure ourselves. For instance, diabetes, high blood pressure. Those are things that we can control if we learn to adjust what we eat, how we eat, when we eat, how to prepare the food, what not to season the food with. It's a lot that go into it, but it becomes a routine after a while. I I practiced myself for so many years not to drink Pepsi, not to drink Coke, not to drink pop. My go-to is water. When I can't get anything to drink, the only thing I drink is water. I go to bed drinking water. I wake up drinking water. There are times when I'm out with my sons. My oldest son is 34 years old. He's a military veteran. And there are times when I'm in public with my son and people think that my son is my husband, which is a great compliment to me. And they ask me, well, what do you do to look so young? Water. Drink lots of water. Get you a blender. Start using your blender to blend your own juice instead of buying juice in the grocery store. These are some things that you can do yourself to make yourself healthier, and it's not that expensive. Well, everything is expensive right now. I can't even say that. The prices of food have gone up. Everything have gone up. So I used to have this saying when I was learning how to adjust my eating habits and being more conscious of what I put into my body and how my body works and what best works for my body. I learned this. It's a question I had to ask myself. Would I rather have a high doctor bill, or would I rather have a high grocery bill? Because in this society, I'm not even going to lie to you, eating healthy can be expensive. If you don't live in a part of the country where you can grow your own fruits and vegetables, it's going to be a little expensive. So ask yourself, do I want a high doctor bill, or do I want a high grocery bill? It's your choice. I prefer the high grocery bill. I don't like going to the doctor. As much as I'm in the healthcare field, and I've been doing this for 30 something years and taking care of my patients. I love my patients, but I don't want to be a patient. So I tried to do what I could do to avoid being a patient myself. Start educating yourself. Look on YouTube. There's lots of videos about how to juice a pineapple or how to blend things, because some people aren't skilled with a blender. Just look on Google it. Go on YouTube. Ask Siri. I mean, there's so many things out here that can help educate us, but we have to get away from the all of the sugars, like the Pepsi and the Coke and all the candy, the potato chips, the even a lot of the cereals. Try to eat stuff that is natural. There was a time when I was I was detoxing from eating meat for a while. So the only meat that I would eat would be seafood, like shrimp or salmon or fish. I didn't eat any chicken, I didn't eat any beef, I didn't eat any pork. I didn't eat anything unless it was vegetables, fruits, or seafood. And there was a time when I would consciously say to myself, if it does not grow in the ground and it's not water, then don't eat it and don't drink it. If it did not come from the earth, don't eat it, don't drink it. Try that for about a week or 2 weeks, maybe, and see how your body will change. Don't eat or drink anything that did not come from the earth, and see how your body responds. Give it 2 weeks. And I guarantee you will see a big difference in just doing that. And that will cut out a lot of things, because there's a lot of things that we eat that do not come from the earth. Water come from the earth. Fruits, vegetables, meat don't come from the earth. Well, the fish come from the ocean, from the sea. I made a compromise to have fish because I'm anemic. I can get severely anemic. So I had to have some type of meat, and I chose to eat like salmon or fish, preferably saltwater fish, not lake fish or farm raised fish. The healthier fish is more a sea fish, saltwater fish, or salmon. Try not to eat anything from a can, because the canned goods are full of salt, sodium. That's why they can stay on the shelves so long. A can can stay on the shelf for years and not go bad. Why? Because the contents on the inside of that can has a lot of salt that's uh, um keeping it going for so many years, for so long. If you do use a can, if you have to use a can of vegetables or something, dump the water out, rinse the water that it's been sitting in for so long, that water, rinse that off before you even use whatever is in that can, whether it's something sweet or whether it's some vegetables. Never open a can of anything that like can of corn, a can of peas, a can of pineapples. Never open any of those cans and just use the same juice that it's been sitting in, because it's been sitting in there so long that it's full of sugar and it's full of salt. And that's what give us the high cholesterol, the diabetes, the high blood pressure. If you're going to use the canned vegetable, rinse it off first before you actually put it in your pot and cook it. If you have to have chicken, say you have to have meat. If you have to have chicken, don't season it with so much salt. And instead of frying the chicken in the grease, put it in the oven and bake it. Or you can grill it outside on the grill. Those are healthier ways to prepare your food, so you won't so that it would your body will work better with it. And you take your time and wean yourself off of certain things. It's a gradual thing. It's not just a sudden thing. People think that vegans and vegetarians just became vegans and vegetarian overnight. It's a process. And I don't know if I'll ever be a vegan or a vegetarian, but there are some practices that I do that are similar to vegan and vegetarian, and it helps to maintain your immune system and keep you strong. There's a reason why they do the things that they do. I have to one thing I have to get used to, though, I have to admit, the seasoning. I come from a culture of nothing but seasoning. I come from Jamaica. And everything is seasoned, spiced. And so my whole family have issues with high blood pressure and diabetes. My mom had it before she passed away, high blood pressure, diabetes, and I watched her struggle so many years with pricking her fingers and sticking herself and injecting herself with insulin. And I said to myself, I don't want to be, because my mother, I thought was, as a young child, I thought she was old at the time, but now I'm the same age that she was when she was doing these things. And at 50 years old, I don't feel old. I feel young. So for my mother to struggle all those years with going through all of that and having to prick your fingers and give yourself insulin, and you always feel like you're going to pass out and you got to drink orange juice, and it's just the mental brainwash that we've been brainwashed that we inherit certain illnesses or certain diseases. I don't fully agree. I don't fully agree. There are some things that we can control about our health that will eliminate diabetes, that will eliminate high blood pressure, that will eliminate stroke. There are things that we can do health wise that will eliminate mental illness. If you are always constipated, or you only have a bowel movement, a BM, a bowel movement once or maybe twice a week, you are not healthy. I'm here to tell you, you're not healthy. This is coming from a patient care technician. This is coming from a medical assistant with an associate degree in medical assisting. Yes, I'm a college graduate. Yes, I've been doing this for more than 30 years. And if you do not have a bowel movement at least twice a day, twice a day, at least once in the morning and once in the evening, you're supposed to have at least two bowel movements per day. If you don't have two normal bowel movements per day, your system needs to be cleaned out. If you're not drinking enough water, I'm going to give you an example. Take, for instance, a pipe, your kitchen sink, the pipe. How does a pipe get clogged up? Because there's no, the only way to unclog a clogged up pipe, it has to have some type of grease or fluid or something moving in between it in order to make it go through. Or else if it's too dry, it'll be hard and stay in one place. Well, that's how your colon is when you are dehydrated because you don't drink water, you don't eat fruits and vegetables, you don't take in fiber, which can help to move all of that stuff through your intestines easily, so that when you have you feel a little cramping in your stomach to go to the bathroom, it shouldn't be a severe cramping like you're about to fall over and die. You should have a cramping to go and have a bowel movement, but it shouldn't be that severe. And when you do go to have a bowel movement, it should be a nice, easy flow that comes out. It shouldn't be painful coming out. You shouldn't have to push it out. It should come out naturally. And this is what should happen to you in the morning. Like, when you first wake up in the morning. See, we've been lied to about this breakfast thing, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I study the program of my body. And when I wake up in the morning, my body is eliminating all of the toxins and everything that I had the night before. So when you first wake up, the first couple of hours up until maybe midday, your body is releasing itself, cleansing itself of everything that you ate or drank, all the toxins, because you lay down, you went to sleep, and it had time to absorb and get every nutrients that it need. And now when you wake up, but this only happens if you're a person that drink lots of water before you go to bed. This only happens to a person that eats a lot of vegetables and fruit because your system is flowing well. So you will sleep and you will wake up in the morning. You will find that your body start to have a routine. And every morning at a certain time you will wake up, even if you don't have to get up for work or your alarm clock is not on. You will find that your body start to have a natural alarm clock, and every morning at a certain time you will wake up and you will go to the bathroom and you will have a bowel movement. And then you will get up and start moving around again, and another one might come. So for that day, you should have at least 2 or 3 bowel movements for the day, and that's normal. That's good. And once the body finally releases all the urine and the toxin from itself, about maybe midday, is when you should start eating something. And when you do start eating something, you're breaking your fast, because you're fasting. You've been fasting from the time you went to sleep that night until the time your body cleansed itself when you woke up. So that's your fasting period. Now, to stop the fasting, you break the fast, and it's called break fast. So you break the fast by about midday. And when you break the fast about midday, they say you should be having lunch about that time, but I don't go by that system. I go by how my body works. About midday, I eat something, but it also depends on what you eat. What you eat is important. You just cleansed out your body. and you're ready to fill it back up, don't fill it back up with junk. Fill it back up with water, with blended natural juices that doesn't have a whole lot of sugar in it. Build your body back up with fruit. That's what you should build your body back up with. Not bacon, not all of that greasy stuff that people eat for breakfast. That's not. We have been so programmed in such an incorrect way that sometimes it's not easy to unravel all of that confusion, to help people to understand that you have to learn your body, and you have to stop being so easily addicted to certain things. You have to learn self-discipline. You have to make a sacrifice. If you want to see something different, you have to do something different. You can't do the same thing all the time expecting a different result. And no one can do it for you. You have to motivate yourself and do it for yourself. You have to start to have self-love for yourself. We always look outward for others to give us certain things and love us a certain way. It's time for us to look within and start loving ourselves. It takes one day at a time. If you are the type of person who have never done this before, try it for 2 days and see how it go. And then go on to a third day. And then the next time, do 4 days. And the next time, do 5 days. And eventually, you'll build yourself up. Good night, everybody. I've been talking and I haven't had a chance to say hello. Thank you to all you that joined in and are tuned in and are listening to me. I don't get that many viewers because I'm not on this live twerking and showing my butt. And you know that I think it seems like that's what sells on social media, on TikTok, or I guess I should be on here gossiping about people and talking about people. Maybe I get a lot more views. Um, I'm not really into politics, so that's not going to be any big conversation for me. My strength in having conversation is about mental health, physical health, nursing. Any questions people have about nursing, about women, about raising children, about being a mother, about being a wife, about being a daughter, a sister. Those kind of conversations I'm going to be having. And my conversations are not going to be me on here cursing and yelling and talking all kind of nasty stuff or bashing people. So if that's what it's going to be, I guess I'm not going to have a lot of people watching my live. But for those of you who joined in, I hope that I said something that was educational, that was helpful to you as far as your health, and hopefully I said something that will motivate you to start thinking healthier and living healthier, because we are in a society where there's a lot of viruses that we have to fight, and you can't fight these viruses if your immune system is weak. So yeah, that's Marie's message. It's getting late. I know that some of you probably have to get ready to go to bed because you have work in the morning. um so I'm going to get ready to go in a little while, and I will be doing more videos on health issues, whether it's a mental health issue, or a physical health issue. I like to talk about stuff like depression, like postpartum depression, something I've experienced. I've experienced postpartum depression, so that's probably something I'll talk about I've experienced depression on a bipolar manic depressive level. I've experienced um, PTSD, post traumatic stress disorder. These are topics that I like to talk about, but I'm not going to get a lot of people watching my live when I get serious about stuff like that. But those are the things that I've experienced, and um, I can really go in depth from my own experience and from working and taking care of patients with these illnesses. And I think if we start addressing these mental illnesses that people have, a lot of the things that are going on with young people, like people going into schools and shooting and killing, they're killing innocent children. Um, we need to start addressing mental illness. We need to stop allowing our children to just go in their rooms and lock up and be on their social media. And we become a generation where families don't even sit at the table all together anymore and talk to each other and have dinner and talk to each other about what's going on in their life or what they're thinking about. And after some crazy thing like this happened where a child goes into a school and just shoot up and mass kill, then now we finally go into this child's room and start to see all of this evidence that if you was a mom or if you was a parent and you went in that room regularly to clean it or to see what was going on with your child, you would know what was going on with your child. We so closed off now. We parents are like the children are raising themselves and they're on social media locked in their room doing God knows what, and nobody knows about it until all hell break loose, to put it lightly. So yeah, the issue for me, one of the biggest issues in this society for me is mental illness, and it's a deceitful killer because we're walking amongst each other, and you could be walking right next to someone with a mental illness and don't even know that the person has a mental illness. That's how dangerous this is. So yeah, but we don't want to talk about these kind of issues. We'd rather watch the videos where the girls are half naked and they're twerking and you know and showing themselves and half naked, and that's what social media, that's how you get a lot of views. So it is what it is. I appreciate the ones that did come in and listen, and I hope everybody have a safe night wherever you are. If it's night, morning, evening, good grand rising to you, good evening to you, good night to you, wherever you are. Um, May the universe bless you, and may you have a peaceful and safe night. I'm signing off now. This is Marie's message. Until next time, love yourself, take care of yourself, and be thankful for today, because yesterday is gone, tomorrow is not promised. So be happy today and be thankful for today. Until next time, have a good night.